early intervention matters, but the presentation we just saw also talks about what happens to the young African-American male and how his future is already determined in that 0 to 5 from a variety of other issues. So that was important. But what we had, it was just another learning for somebody like me. But what we decided, we had the Washtenaw stakeholders in the other room, and Washtenaw is not yet a My Brother's Keeper community. And I've been trying to learn, and I've asked a lot of questions over the last 2 months, and people have asked me, would I convene the stakeholders? And I, quite frankly, I'm very blunt with everybody. I'm a white girl, and I'm not an African-American male, and we need to let the African-American leaders be out in front. But people like me need to help to give them the resources and pull people together to do what we need to do. And I'm very engaged in this because some of you are from this community and some of you aren't. But you're in Ypsilanti, which has had some real issues. We've had some we just buried 2 weeks ago another African-American male that was dead from gang violence. We've had 7 shootings here in the last 3 to 4 weeks. Marge is nodding her head. It's been, the kids themselves have organized to stop the violence movement. I went to a dance, an evening that they organized themselves Saturday night, Stop the Violence, and I just went for a couple hours because I think people like me have to be there to show support. I was feeling pretty old a couple of hours into this event, but I think that we've got to do that. So in the other room, they invited, and we had David Rutledge and Sheriff Clayton, who really have been taking the lead and are the right people to be taking the lead about being safe. But I had been asked by Ron Woods at Eastern if I would help convene the mayors to get them to buy into making this. And I didn't understand. I talked to all of them within 24 hours of being asked that, but I didn't know what it meant to convene. And you all are ahead of us. Now I understand. I think what it means is that we've all got to say we want to be a brother's keeper, and that it comes from Sheriff Clayton was asking a lot of questions about, well, what does that mean? What do we get? What resources? What do we need to do? And it's the brother's keeper is loosely organized in this sense that those in the community know best what their community needs. So we in the community have to define what it is we want to do as a brother's keeper. And Sheriff Clayton and David Rutledge, who's our state rep, had already been talking about an Ypsilanti promise. So again, in the presentation we've seen, in the data we've seen, what the difference is between an African-American male that finishes high school and doesn't. The statistics are stunning. That you have an 80% chance of being incarcerated if you don't finish high school. So I think all of us need to take that on as a goal. But for our action plan, we are, and I was telling some of the people from Washtenaw in here, we are going to convene the stakeholders to buy in before Labor Day. And we're forming a work team, which Sheriff Clayton and David Rutledge will take I really do view them as the leaders, but Scott, our school superintendent, is very engaged, and I learned today that Adam Zemke had a couple of meetings, and Jeff Irwin are there, and we're going to pull everybody together, and we're going to, what do we need to do? So some of you are ahead of us that you've already said you want to be. Washtenaw wants to get in, and we're going to work together and figure out what our plan should be, what resources are there, how do we pull them together. I'm going to talk to Skillman and say, hey, can we look beyond Detroit in some of these?
I am so excited to invite everybody to come to Equity 2015, the 5th National Summit that PolicyLink is putting on to advance equity. Equity 2015, All In for Inclusion, Justice, and Prosperity, will be held in Los Angeles, October 27th to 29th at the Westin Bonaventure Hotel, Los Angeles, California, October 27th, 29th. Go on policylink.org and read all about it. Equity 2015.